All right, so let's go ahead and we will find our way to our mats and just come to a shape that feels good in your body this morning or whenever you're practicing. This doesn't have to be a good morning yoga. It might be really nice in the evening as well, or just sometime that you need a short, gentle movement practice. So you're welcome to lie down, you're welcome to find a child's pose or seated. So whatever serves you best in this moment, go there, okay? So as you arrive on your mat, take a moment just to, I got the wiggles out. You need to shift the body a little bit back and forth. And then let the body just begin to settle. And then start to become aware of your breath. Allowing the body to soften a bit deeper as you breathe. Starting to notice each inhale, each exhale. And then start to notice that little pause between. So we often call attention to the breath in and breath out. That maybe taking a moment to notice that little in-between space, that pause between your breath in and breath out. Noticing how long that pause is. And what's happening within that pause. So stay with that awareness for a few more rounds of breath here. Noticing how it feels to create that space within yourself at the top of the breath and the bottom of the breath. We often call attention to the breath itself, but how often do you actually take time to notice those little in-between spots? And then all together, let's go ahead and take a breath in through the nose. And then just sigh it out through the mouth. And then start to make your way to a seat if you weren't there already. You can have a blanket underneath you. I especially like that in the mornings when my body's not full of movement yet. And then we'll keep the left heel hugged in towards the body. Extend the right leg out. Okay, so I'm going to shift over my camera. Angle isn't very good here, but that's okay. Allow those right toes to face up. Take the right hand onto the thigh or the knee or whatever it sort of meets here on the right leg. We're pulling the right toes towards the body. Take an inhale. And then on your exhale, just slide that right hand down the leg, moving it towards that right foot. So we're getting a little stretch for the left side body. Rotate the chest up towards the sky. Beautiful there. So you can keep that left hand sort of grounded on the left leg, or you're welcome to take the left arm over the ear. Okay, and that'll help deepen that side stretch. Just keep the gaze where it feels best. If you want to take a moment just to move the head in a gentle shake, no. That might feel really good. Release any tension from the jaw. Keep rotating the chest up towards the sky. Keeping the heart space nice and open. And then on your inhale, rise up. Plant the left hand behind that left leg. Press into the palm and just begin to lift the hips from the mat, taking the right arm over the ear. So like a little counter. You can place those right toes down on your mat if you like. It'll give you a little more stability. One more breath here. Opening the front body, and then exhale. Set the hips down. Release the arm, and we'll take both feet in. Soles of the feet come together. Knees are wide for a little butterfly pose. So take a moment with the hands behind you, coming onto the fingertips, and just start to lift the chest. Okay? Soften through the legs and thighs. You're welcome to gaze up if that feels okay. Again, opening the front body. Take an inhale. Exhale, release. Bring the hands in front of you, and then you're welcome to just walk the hands out, folding over the legs. On your next inhale, walk the hands towards you, press yourself upright. So this time we'll keep the right foot in towards the body and extend the left leg. And just bring it as wide as feels good for you. Flexing the left foot, toes are drawing towards the body here. Left hand is on the left thigh, take an inhale, and then exhale, just slide the left hand down the leg, coming into that side bend here. Again, you have the option to keep the right hand grounded on the leg, or you can take it and sweep it over the ear. If you take that over the ear option, just make sure that the palm is facing down towards the ground. And then spiral the heart open just a bit, right? We don't want to close into that heart space. Keep it nice and open. And breathe. If you want to find that gentle nod, no of the head, like that. And then just settle the gaze wherever the head feels best. Keep rotating the heart towards the sky. Lengthen the right side body. And then inhale, rise up. Plant the right hand behind the leg. Press into the palm. Inhale, lift the hips from your mat. Sweep the left arm over the ear. Stretch out the left side body. One more inhale. Exhale, release it down. From here, we're going to take both legs wide. Okay, so if you're on a blanket, maybe just sort of scooch to the edge of your blanket so that your sit bones are more on the mat, and then that flesh behind you is on your blanket. All right, so sitting up nice and tall, flexing the feet once again, drawing the toes towards the body. And just take a moment here. Let the legs sort of be introduced to this. You might already feel a stretch. And you can stay here in this little upright, wide-legged seat. or if it's available, you can start to come into a fold, taking the hands in front of you and just slowly and gently walking them out to a place where you feel, as my friend says, sweet discomfort. So a nice stretch for the inner thighs. Okay, we're still drawing the toes towards the body, and they're facing up towards the sky. So we're not letting the toes sort of droop inward, right? We're keeping that outward spiral of the thigh. Release any tension in the shoulders. Here we go. Soften through the neck and jaw. And then allow yourself just to be here. So just like we were talking about the breath earlier, that we often will talk about entering the pose and exiting the pose. Okay, so as we sit and hold the pose, that becomes our pause. That becomes our in-between space. So just start to notice the sensations. Sensations of the body. The thoughts. The sensation of the breath. All right, we're not judging what's happening within ourselves here. We're just noticing. Take one more round of breath in this wide fold. Maybe letting it sigh out through the mouth. When you feel ready, go ahead and walk the hands back towards you. Press yourself upright. Bring the hands underneath the knees, and with some kindness, lean back, lift the knees, bring them together. And then maybe if you want to extend them, give them a little shake. Or if you'd like, you can bend the knees and just sort of wiper them from side to side, just to counter all of that stretching. All right, so take that as long as you need, and when you feel balanced, we'll meet on hands and knees, coming to tabletop pose. Okay? All right. So that blanket can go underneath the knees if you like, but if you feel okay here, stay here. And so rooting into the hands, pressing into the knuckles, press into the tops of the feet, right? So tops of the feet are to the mat. Let's move through a few cat-cows here. So take an inhale, lift the gaze, soften the belly as you lift the hips. And then exhale, press into the hands, let the back round, chin comes into the chest. Really press the floor away from you here. Inhale. Lift the gaze, pull the heart towards the top of your mat. Exhale, round the back, drop the hips. So just start to move as your body likes here. Moving with your own breath. Either staying in this cat-cow movement or changing it up. Just sort of doing what would feel good for your body as you begin to wake up and you begin to find that movement. I like to do some hips from side to side. If you want to come into like a child's pose, you could do that. So just, again, let it be organic. You don't have to put a name to the pose. Just kind of moving. Stay with that movement just for another moment. And then as you feel ready, find your way back into that tabletop pose. Walk the hands out just a couple of inches so that the wrists are in front of the shoulders. Root into the hands, curl the toes under, and start to lift the hips to the sky. Find a downward facing dog. Beautiful. And as you arrive, you can pedal out the feet
Again, just finding any sort of movement that would serve you. And then as you feel ready, just settle in here. Root into the hands. Lengthen through the spine. And just settle into the breath. Maybe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just letting the body release a bit as you hold here. So on your next breath in, we're going to lift the heels a bit and then just start to shift the body forward. Shoulders come over the wrists and we find a plank pose here. And then exhale, you can lower the knees, keep the toes curled under, send the hips to the heels for child's pose. All right, so we won't be here, but for a moment, we're gonna start to link all of those poses with the breath. Okay, so on an inhale, rise back up, bringing yourself back into a plank pose. So shoulders are over the wrists. Our hands haven't moved here. So you can come into a modified plank with the knees down, or you can lift them up to you. And then as you exhale, hips reach for the sky, find a downward facing dog. Okay, so starting to move with the breath, warm up the body a bit. Inhale, lift the heels, shift forward to plank, either keeping the knees lifted or lowering them to the mat. And then exhale, we'll all lower the knees. Hips reach for the heels for child's pose. Keep it moving. Inhale, rise up, find your version of plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Gonna do that a bit again. Inhale, forward, your version of plank. Exhale, lower, find child's pose. Toes are still tucked under, hands still haven't moved. I'm gonna do that one more time. Inhale, forward for plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last time through here. Inhale, forward for plank. Exhale, lower the knees. This time we'll uncurl the toes and find a child's pose. Forehead comes to the mat. You can soften the arms if you like, letting the elbows come all the way to the mat. Maybe stack the hands if that would serve you. Again, letting the body just soften into the pose. And then we'll go ahead and re-extend the arms. Lift the hips, find your way back into that downward facing dog, however you'd like to get there. And then gaze between the palms and just walk the feet up towards the top of your mat, bringing them to rest behind the wrists here. And then just let the body hang over the legs. Okay, let the crown of the head be heavy towards the earth. If you notice, my knees are pretty bent here. My belly's resting on my thighs, and that's just to give the low back a little bit of love this morning. You can clasp elbows if that would feel good. You can sway, whatever you need to do here. If you have blocks, you can put them underneath your hands. Maybe give the head a gentle nod, yes. And then a gentle shake, no. Here we go. If you've bound the hands, go ahead and release the elbows. Press into the feet and just gently begin to roll the body up. Coming all the way to stand. When you arrive, circle the arms up over the head, palms come together. You can say hello to the pine tree above you. And then exhale. Draw them into your heart center. Finding a pause here between poses.
And then inhale, sweep the arms up towards the sky. Reach them tall. Find a little stretch here. And then exhale, soften the knees, soften and forward fold.
Inhale, hands to the shins, find a halfway lift. Reach the tailbone back. Crown of the head reaches forward. Belly is drawn in. Okay. Take one more breath in. And then exhale, soften and find a fold once again. So bend the knees, plant the palms on the mat, and we're gonna step our left foot back. Okay? Lower the left knee down. And then we're gonna heel toe that right foot towards the edge of your mat. And the hands come right to the inside of that right foot. So we're coming into lizard pose. And then hug the right knee towards the right shoulder so that it's not sort of splaying out, right? The right foot is grounded. And start to just let the hips soften. Take a few breaths here. Keep the left hand right where it is. Take the right arm and we're just going to reach it towards the sky. Come in for a little twist here. So a couple of options. Okay, you can stay in this twist if this feels good in your body. If you'd like to take that stretch for the front of the left hip, that left hip flexor a little deeper, you can start to bend the left knee, bringing the heel towards the bum, and then circle the right arm back and just see what you can grab. Maybe it's the heel, maybe it's your pants, maybe you're just reaching, okay? And if you've taken that bind, maybe you let that right knee start to come open and then shine your heart open towards the sky. So this is your practice, so take what feels best for you. Okay? Whichever version you're in, take another breath in here. One more breath out. If you've bound, go ahead and release it. Take the right arm, sweep it up and over. Curl the left toes under. And we'll just drag that right knee back to meet your left. Hug the elbows in and then lower yourself all the way down to your mat, coming onto the belly. Okay, uncurl the toes. Hug the elbows in. Hands are right alongside the chest here. And then inhale, lift the head and the heart, rising up for cobra. And we're going to stay here for a few breaths. Keep hugging the elbows in. Press the tops of the feet down. Take one more inhale. Exhale to lower. And then we'll find our way back into a downward facing dog, however you'd like to get there. So either coming through plank or tabletop, and then working your way back into your downward facing dog. Gaze between the palms. Walk the feet up towards the top of your mat. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, plant the palms. This time we'll step our right foot far back. Okay. Lower the right knee down. And then uncurl the toes and heel toe that left foot to the outer edge of your mat. Okay, hands come to the inside of the foot. Let the hips rest here. In your lizard pose. Notice if you're clenching through the jaw, you're starting to tense through the shoulders. There we go. And just see where you can soften into it. Keep breathing.
Keep the right hand as it is. And we'll just take that left arm to reach for the sky. Twisting over the left shoulder. Keeping the left knee hugging in towards the mid-body. And then you can decide if you'd like to stay here, if you'd like to bind. Okay, so either staying, reaching, lifting those fingertips up towards the sky, or if you're coming into that bind, we'll bend the right knee, heel comes towards the glute, and that left arm circles behind you, grabbing the heel or the toes or your pants. And then you're welcome to, if you're in that bind, allow that left knee to start to open up, coming onto the outer edge of the left foot, spiraling the heart towards the sky. Continuing to breathe. One more round of breath here. If you've taken that bind, release the foot. We'll all take the arms, plant the hands. Okay. And then just drag the left foot back to meet the right, coming onto the knees, so you're in this little modified plank. Keeping the elbows hugged in, lower yourself all the way down to the belly. Once again, coming in for that cobra pose. So tops of the feet to the mat, hug the elbows in, inhale, rise for cobra. Okay, or you're welcome, if it feels okay, to either come up a little bit higher, or if your body's really feeling good, you can take the hands a little bit lower. Okay, press into the palms, rise all the way up, lifting the knees for an up dog. So yogi's choice. We're drawing the shoulder blades down the back, keeping the heart space open. Take one more breath in. And then an exhale, knees are on the earth, send the hips to the heels, come in for a child's pose. So you can widen the knees a lot or a little. Let the arms extend. And just soften here. And then as you feel ready, go ahead and start to make your way back to all fours. And just swing the legs around, bringing yourself onto your bum. And we'll just come all the way down onto our backs. Keeping the knees bent. And then draw the knees into the chest, giving them a little hug, just rocking from side to side. And then the next time you rock towards the left, just let the knees come all the way to meet the earth. Coming in for a twist here. Let the arms open wide, or maybe to cactus arms. And then draw the gaze over the right shoulder. Take an inhale here in your twist. And then as you exhale, draw everything back to center. Take a moment here. Once again, just sort of rocking from side to side. And the next time you rock right, let the knees meet the earth. Open the arms. And gaze over the left shoulder. Breath in.
As you breathe out, bring everything back to center. Give the knees one more little squeeze. Press the low back to the mat as you draw the forehead up towards the legs. Hug yourself into a tight little ball. Take an inhale. And then exhale, let everything go. Extend the legs, release the arms. And just start to find your way into a Shavasana pose. So if you need to take any props with you here as you rest, you can add those. Yeah, if you want a blanket for a pillow or on your belly. Let the eyes close. Soften the breath. And just allow yourself the space here to just be. And then go ahead and start to deepen the breath. And expanding and contracting the belly. Bringing some movement into the body. You can wiggle the fingers, the toes. Maybe just gently move the head from side to side. If you'd like, you can take the arms over the head. And just take a nice full body stretch, reaching from fingers down to the toes. And releasing as you feel ready. And then slowly making your way back into a comfortable seat. You're welcome to take a moment on your side and pause there. And just come up and find your way to that seat, however you feel best. When you arrive on your seat, sit up nice and tall. Soften the shoulders. And just let the eyes close here for a moment. And turn your attention to the breath. And we'll do a bit of breathing together, a little bit of breath work to finish out our practice.
So just take a moment here with the breath, letting it settle. And then let's all take a breath in through the nose. And then release it all through the mouth. Draw the belly in a little bit closer to the spine. Really expel the air. And then take a breath in through the nose. We'll start to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to pause here to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then let it out. 2, 3, 4. Pausing at the bottom for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding it for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pausing. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold and pause. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more pause. 3, 2, 1. Let's take a full breath in all together. In through the nose. Let it out through the mouth as loud as you like. Take a moment in the pause and the after. Maybe turn the corners of the mouth up in enjoyment of your practice, in enjoyment of your own body, in enjoyment of the day. Enjoy your palms together at your heart center, drawing thumbs right into the heart space. And just thank yourself for being here, for doing what it does for you each and every single day. I hope you've enjoyed your practice. Thanks for being here. Thanks for pausing with me here. And hopefully you can take the time to find those little pauses throughout your day. Be well, my friends. Namaste.
Namaste.